So this is the next step that I'm going to show. I just completed cutting out, or scribing and cutting out, the pins, and you can see fit nicely together. So we're going to go back on another piece and scribe these out from the tails, and then cut out the pins, and then show you how to adjust and trim until you get a nice tight fit. So I put the all four pieces back with the carpenter squares pointing towards me so I can remember exactly how they go, because you don't want to mess it up, and this will help us to get it right. So lay it out according to those markings. They're very important, and make sure that your face markings are in the right spot too. Alright, so this is the one that I just did earlier. Okay, so why don't we do this over here? So you want to, this is why I put them together, is because I don't want to lose the direction. So what we're going to be doing is it's going to be fitting there. So we want to keep those together when we put this in the vise, so that we don't get confused. I learned a little trick that is really helpful. So what I do is I just grab a little plane. So I've got my piece right here. I don't want to lose the direction of it. And I set a plane up there, right up against it, a little hand plane, and bring it to up level with the side of the plane. Clamp it in, and then I can move this back, and I've got something that's at the exact right height to lay it on here, assuming that your bench top is flat. To make this step easier for you to see, I'm going to put a headlamp underneath. You don't have to use the flashing. You don't even have to use a headlamp or light, but this is to make it easier for you. But some people find it easier to use a headlamp or some kind of flashlight. But this is just to kind of show you how. See, the key is you're not trying to get these flush together, right? Because these ends are going to probably hang out a little bit. The key is to square up the sides. See, with your board here, keep that nice squared against there. But the key is to pull this down. You can see I can see a little bit of light. You want it to go just over until you can't see light shining through those little gaps, and that's going to close up any of your imperfections there that you cut before. So once you got that just barely over, you don't want it any further than you have to, or else you're going to have to trim this end grain a lot, which is really hard. So you're going to pull this down and make sure it's squared on, nice and squared along the side, and then once you get it in place, that's when you're going to scribe the lines. So get yours laid out, and then we'll start scribing them. Be very careful at this point. So you don't want to move your board. So try to hold it down, and then you want to make sure the bevel is out, and put your knife just up against it and scribe. Oh, I trimmed a little of the wood off. And you can just go down each one and get as close as you can and just scribe the lines on both sides, and we'll go back and do it with pencil over the top of it so you can see where they are. Alright, so you can see my lines there. Got them all done across now, and you can see how it fits perfectly there. Those are going to fit right in there once we cut the tails out. The pins will fit in the tails. Or sorry, the tails will fit in those pins. So before I do anything, and this is important because people will always make a mistake with this, is put this on here so that you can see exactly where you're going to be cutting out. And make a note of your waist. I'll do it down below as well. just draw that down. So go ahead and do that on both sides, because later on when we're cutting out the this waist here, we want to be able to see the lines going down on both sides, because we're going to be chopping the waist out from both sides. Okay, you can see I got lines scribed on the back now and on the front. Remember, we know it's the front because of our face side marker. And it looks good. So now what we'll do is we will go and cut out all these waist areas.